Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Truth Seeker podcast. My name is Josh Blanchard. Today I'm with a friend of mine, Sarah Hutton,
Hi.
who is an amazing, amazing girl. We've been trying to do this podcast for a while now, but unfortunately, we just haven't been able to find the right time. But it's great to finally have you on. So
Yes,
Sarah
finally
does.
working out.
Sorry.
I said it's finally working out. It's meant to
Yes,
be.
100%. So Sarah does intuitive energy readings. She teaches meditation and Reiki as well. And another thing she's recently got into is channeling. Did you want to start off with telling us all a little bit about your awakening and what sparked you to start speaking up?
Oh, sure. Okay, well, I have a little boy. His name's Paddy and he's 4. And I experienced a really traumatic birth with him. And I experienced a near-death experience where I felt my soul, my spirit leave my body and go to return back home, back to unconditional love, back to God, whatever you want to call it. And then obviously I didn't go because I'm still here. I got told it wasn't my time and I had to come back and be Paddy's mum. And that really sparked everything. That's when everything shattered for me, because I had that experience of not being in my body and being a spirit, a soul. So that was pretty wild. And then after that, I had my whole world turned upside down, being a first-time mum, and also just having no idea what we're doing here on earth in this lifetime. So I did a lot of meditating and doing meditating and yoga. I found a connection to my soul, to spirit, to the universe, to God. And that really brought me to where I am today. So yeah, I'm really grateful for receiving that connection and that guidance to get through the hard times that I've been through and to really thrive. And now I want to speak out and I want to share love with everyone, because we're in a dark time. If you choose it to be a dark time, we're in a dark time, and we all need to come together and love one another and support one another and show each other the way home, because we're all here walking each other home, walking each other to heaven on earth. So yeah.
100%. It's full on. I had no idea about that.
I know.
Well, I think I've spoken a little bit about it before, that I think everyone sort of needs a trigger to wake them up, so to speak. Me, I've spoken about it before. I lost my best mate, and these little things that you might go through a health crisis or whatever it is, sort of, it's that trigger that helps you to start to realize this world is not what we think it is it?
It's an illusion. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So, and these other abilities, like your channeling and your psychic abilities and stuff, when did you first discover these?
Okay, so when I started meditating, I started going on little journeys in my mind or in my consciousness, meeting up with, I don't know if you're familiar with Shiva. He's a Hindu lord, Hindu god.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, he's the destroyer. He destroys everything so it can be rebirthed and regenerated and renewed. Right. And he joined me on my journey when I first started meditating, to just be a support, a guide in the spiritual realm.
Right.
So, yeah. And then that just kind of I just knew something was a little bit different to my meditations compared to everyone else's meditations. Because when I was okay, I just tapped into a meditation, I seen this and I went there, and they're what? We just close our eyes and focus on our breath and everything, which is meditation. But yeah, I just started to realize that I had this ability of having visions and going on journeys and everything. And I think it's definitely related to past lifetimes as well. But the channeling and all of that has only really begun in the last few months, like at the end of last year, which is pretty wild. And I did not know that I could do it. And I mean, in the past, I've had moments where I've had past ones come through and ask me to send a message, but not being so confident in doing that, because it's like, is this really happening? Because you have to question it, like, is this really happening? And I guess once I realized that, yeah, it's happening and I trust in it, it all just started to flow a lot smoother.
Wow. Yeah, it's incredible. I remember, like I said to you before, when I seen that first video you put up when you were channeling that Andromeda, it just blew my mind, and it really did. And for someone that I knew to be doing that, I was like, wow, this is cool. Got to really get this podcast happening. But that was one of the biggest things that woke me up. Was seeing UFOs. Me and my mates used to see UFOs all the time, and it led me down that rabbit hole of looking into different UFO documentaries and learning about different alien races out there, and how there's malevolent and benevolent ones, and
yes, 100%.
Yeah, and I learned about the evil ones first, so it was very comforting, I guess, once I heard about the good ones. So
yeah, you're like, oh, there's good out there, good.
Yeah,
we need some good.
Yeah, absolutely.
The UFOs that you said that you saw, did you ask like who they were or where they were from or anything like that?
No, at that time of my life, this was over 10 years ago, so I hadn't really, I wasn't really awake or anything. So, but, like thinking back in hindsight, I guess I didn't really get, I don't know if it was like a bad feeling or a good feeling. It's hard to decipher. I think I was just in that much shock. What was happening. But yeah, it's hard to say. Most of the UFOs I did see, though, had red flashing lights on them. I don't know if that suggests anything, but
maybe.
Yeah, there were other ones, but the main one that we would see a lot was the ones with the red lights, the red flashing lights.
That's so amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen UFOs that I know of. Like, I look up at the stars all the time, and I do see like the tiny little stars, and they're moving so quickly, and you're like, what are you doing up there?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, living here in the Blue Mountains, and where I grew up in a place called Hartley, it's quite a secluded place. So there's, the things you see out there, especially late at night, it's incredible. We would see them all the time. You literally, one would fly over and then give it a half hour or hour, and another one would fly over, and it's just, incredible.
That's why they gave us a bad rap, being from the Blue Mountains. They're like, the mountain people are weird. They're just maybe because it's UFOs and stuff.
Yeah, you make a good point. Well, and I've heard of heaps of weird sightings up here. I don't have any evidence to say they're true or not, but it wouldn't surprise me, like, if there's been like Yowie sightings and things like that, and even the supposedly extinct Tasmanian tiger has been spotted up here in the Blue Mountains. So.
Really? Yeah. I have not heard that one.
It's crazy. It is.
Yeah.
And then you could go into the Black Panther and stuff as well.
I know about the Black Panther. I haven't seen him, but I've heard a lot about him.
Yeah. So I thought we could just talk a little bit about the current situation we're all dealing with, since it's dominating our lives. And like you said before, it really is a great opportunity. This, depending on what way you look at it. If you're coming from that negative headspace and that darkness, it's not going to be a good time for you. But if you're coming from the opposite end of the spectrum, my goodness, it's like
so blissful, isn't
it?
it?
It is. It really is. I don't like saying this, but for me, 2020 was one of the best years of my life. I got married.
Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you.
That's okay.
But yeah, there was so many great things. I felt like I took my health to the next level. I finally got the courage to start speaking up. All these great things that happened. It was a great year for me. It really was. So yeah, did you want to speak a little bit more about the different ends of the spectrum and how empowering it is once you get on that path and know that everything's going to be okay if you just keep working out of love?
Yeah, and I think I want to touch on the fact that last year was a year for the world life to slow down, to reflect, to learn how to love yourselves and expand and grow yourself so you're ready to step into your power this year. Like, you're empowered now. And that's what this is about. It's about choosing your reality, choosing the love, choosing to see the love everywhere. If you choose fear, if you choose this pandemic, if you choose what's happening in the government, you're going to manifest that. And that's how we're here right now in the collective. We've all manifested this because we've been driven and programmed on fear for so long. We just keep creating fearful situations and events. But changing that attitude to, like, we're here having a human experience and we can love one another and come together and create such amazing, like, mind-blowing things. It's like, why wouldn't you want to choose that end of the spectrum? Why would you want to stay down in the dark, fearful end when you know turning towards the light and seeing that the light is being reflected from you and you are the light? Like, choose that side.
I think a lot of people don't, they're too afraid to step into it because
they don't want to step out and be the odd one out to everyone else.
That too, 100%. But they don't want to believe all this is happening as well. They think, if you believe in that, it's all doom and gloom. But they don't understand that whole spiritual side of it. Once you connect, then realize what you are, and it's
realize you're loved unconditionally and supported.
That's it, and that's why I wanted to really get you on badly to to get your message out there, because you are really, driving home that message about love and unconditional love and connection. And, and at the end of the day, that's what's going to win this, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely believe that. And I hope that we can plant the seed in everyone to believe that love will win. Like, love conquers everything. We can't progress, we can't evolve in fear, or in control. We have to be free to express ourselves, and what we are is love. Like, at the bottom of everything, underneath all the layers, we're just pure love. And I know that only because I experienced it when I left my body. I left my body and it was just all love. It was bliss. It was peace. It was just unconditional.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's like when we're having a little bit of a chat before we started recording. It's the fear, isn't it, that holds people back. The fear of the unknown. And I guess, they and the fear of being different, isn't it?
Yeah. And the fear of speaking. Like, no matter however you were conditioned and programmed as a child, if you didn't feel like you could speak your truth or speak in front of others, then it's going to be hard as an adult to gain that courage and that confidence if you've never had that given to you growing up. Yeah. But I love what you were saying about it's a false sense of security. Like, people are being, like, lulled in this little security blanket of this pandemic and of just in this world in general. Like, and that if they stay here, they're safe. But if they believe what's truly going on and they take that step into that unknown, it's not safe for them. But then if they do that, they realize that they're much safer in the unknown than they are in what they believe to be right about this world, about the collective.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing I think in this point in time, if people should be really focusing on their health. You know, that before I knew this whole COVID was a scam, that was my first sort of instinctive thought was, right, get healthy, get your immune system right, and you're going to be fine.
Get a veggie garden.
Yeah, 100%.
Start growing your own food. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the amount of food and shit, you know, that the tons of bad toxicity that we're consuming every day is unbelievable, isn't it? So the more self-sufficient you can become, is, you know, you're just going to benefit yourself. You know,
and being conscious. Being conscious of what you're putting in your body. Like, I know we're so easily programmed to just not realize that our body is our vessel in this lifetime. And if we feed it high vibrational foods, if we feed it like living water, we are going to be so healthy and so sustained. But we're choosing the easy way out. Like, we're just choosing to just give up and not try.
It's sad, isn't it?
It's just hard because, like, once you know now, you want to spread that message, but so many people are like, no, I don't see it that way. It's like, how do you get them to see it?
Yeah, well, there's going to come a point where they will see it, and they're going to have to take a side. I don't know how much longer it can go on for, you know, before people. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of people sitting on the fence at the moment because they're not really that affected by it, so they haven't delved into it enough. But when they do, we could see a massive shift in, you know, people waking up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Australia especially, it's so much more quiet than it is in other countries. But even now, I feel like if it was to get bigger, there'd be such a divide. Like, there'd be such a divide with people, you know, masking up, not even dancing when you go out because you're not allowed to dance. I was like, that's the most ridiculous rule, to think that people are actually allowing someone to say, you're not allowed to dance, you're not allowed to sing. Like, that is our right. That is not their right in any way. And I feel really strongly about that.
I'll say it should.
Like, they don't have control of your body.
That's exactly right. And, you know,
they don't have control of your mind if you don't give them that control.
Yeah, that's it. I can't believe people think that these measures that they're going to is actually beneficial for our health as well. I don't know. Are we losing common sense, or?
We're just being programmed. It's just programming. And it's from what we're drinking and eating. It's from everything. We're losing our consciousness. But this new awakening that everyone's going through is bringing that back. But there's still such a pull. Like, which way do you go? And you have that choice. You have that choice to evolve, or you have that choice to repeat and just become a slave. Become a slave to the system.
Fuck that.
Amen.
Yeah, I had enough of that 10 years ago. So
I know, I can't believe you've been doing this for 10 years. Like, I feel for everyone that has been awake for so long and everyone being against them. But now it's like they're finally getting the recognition. Like, you know, it wasn't a conspiracy theory. It was real. It was legit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I was saying to you before, like, I think, you know, after I had my initial awakening and then spent the next year or two researching, you know, profusely. And And then that's all, I got to the point where I was like, right, I'm going to start to speak up a little bit and start to put things on social media and stuff. And, this is back in like 2012 or whatever, 2013. So, there were, I was getting decent responses back then. But I don't know, it just got to that point where I was like, this is not doing anything. This is, people are just well asleep. It's not happening. But then,
you don't need to try, no.
Yeah.
It takes balls, it takes guts. So you're doing great.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. But, so I went away from it for, a number of years and, not personally, of course, but speaking about it openly and that. And then I got, once this pandemic came about and I realised it was, a total fraud, that was it. I was like, no, can't hold back anymore. I needed to start speaking out, go to that next level. Because I was almost sitting back waiting as well, because we knew if you're awake back then, you knew about Agenda 21. You knew that it was coming, this whole new world order and, the one world government, one world religion, one world currency, all this. I knew it was coming eventually. And then, once COVID hit, found out it was a fraud. It's funny, my initial gut instinct was it was a fraud. It was like, no, there's no virus. There's no virus out there. They're just saying it is. But so that was right in the end. But yeah, so once I got to that point, I was like, I can't. Like, we need to wake up now because there's gonna be a sort of a tipping point coming. A line in the sand sort of point. So we've got to speak up before we get to that point, And here we are. We're almost there. We're almost at that point.
Yeah, we are. And we're on the side of freedom. And all you're doing is you're really trying to help awaken others to see that they can be free too. Which is such a good thing to be doing.
Oh, thanks.
And it's hard, especially with how many people are very much still unconscious.
But as you probably would know, like, for me, to get to this point and start doing what I'm doing, I had to just let go of everything and just have no care anymore. And once I did that, it's seriously the best feeling. You don't suffer from a lot of them little things that you used to suffer from that would hold you back. It's so empowering.
It is. Once you surrender and let your soul speak its divine truth, you feel amazing because you're finally following your heart. You're following your truth, and you can't do wrong in that situation.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
So the rest of the year, how do you think it's all going to play out?
This year?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Like when I get messages and I write in my journal, because I do automatic writing, so it's like I just let whoever needs to come through and write me messages to write them. But it's like I just feel there's something huge coming, like something really big, like a massive shift in everything. And I feel like there is a divide, and the people that are choosing to evolve, like they're going into just higher frequencies, higher dimensions, and it's all really beautiful, and it's how it's meant to be. Like we're meant to be connected to the earth, we're meant to be connected to spirit, and we are all one. Each and every single one of us is one. We're all part of one another, and we're all equal. And so many people are moving towards that, and I'm so grateful and so happy for all of them. And the other half, I'm not sure. I'm not tapped into that energy because I'm not allowing it to be in my reality. I'm not creating that in my timeline because it's fear. It's an illusion. It's separation. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for my future. It's going to be beautiful and bright, and there's just a lot of love in it.
Yeah, keep thinking that way too. I mean, law of attraction. But yeah, no, I feel the same way, to be honest. And more people I speak to, more people that are really tapped in, and that they've got the same sort of message. So I guess it's exciting times
Yeah.
ahead. Mm.
It is, hell yes it is. And you have
Yeah.
to have that outlook on things. You have to believe blessings and miracles are coming to me every day and they're already here. And then you see everything grow. Like you'll have blessings and miracles and reasons to be grateful. Like every day. You've just got to put that trust
100%.
in. Yeah, you got to put that trust in. You got to surrender and stop doing what you think you should be doing and doing what you truly want to be doing, like in your heart. You got to stop abiding to the programming and the collective. You just literally have to do you. You have this chance. And I've met so many people and they say they're only here, like this lifetime is all they have. They don't get another one. Once you're done here, you're in the ground or you're burned, you're cremated. And I'm like, so what are you doing sitting here on this seat with me right now talking? Like, why aren't you going out and living if you know that it's your only life?
100%, could
And
not
they're
agree
like,
more.
yeah, they're just like it is what it is. And I'm like, if I knew this was the only time I'd be here, I'd be making the absolute most of it. And I'd be thinking with a really positive mindset about it, at least. Just being tapped into that infinite.
I think that's one of the worst sayings is you only live once.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, well, you might only live as Sarah Hutton once and I might only live as Josh Blanchard once, but when are people going to get it through their heads that we are infinite awareness,
Yes.
consciousness, having this experience to further our consciousness?
To further our evolution.
Yeah, evolution, yeah, absolutely.
And it's like a game. Like when I've tapped into meditations and I've asked my soul what's going on, like it's just fun to them. It's really, and it doesn't seem like fun when you're in the physical, but like they're like, yeah, we came down here to learn these lessons and we knew we were going to forget things and it was going to be hard, but you know, we knew we were going to find the joy in it as well.
Yeah.
And everything I always hear is like, this moment is just a moment. When we leave, it will feel like it went like that. Because we are infinite. Like we are so infinite. I love that.
Absolutely. And we're locked into this, linear time, this fake time. It's like you said, it is literally nothing in the overall spectrum of things, is it? Like it's just a little quick experience.
It is, yeah. And then we go and we have another experience.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's amazing. Like when you stop thinking that this is all there is in the 3D and you expand your consciousness, anything is possible. Like anything. You can find out your past lives if you get into a deep, relaxated, trance-like state. You can tap into your past lives and you can tap into future lives, like channeling. And it's just all so wild once you accept that life is magical and anything's possible.
100%. Now, what would you say to someone that's listening to this that is just going, oh my God, like Josh and Sarah are just absolutely nuts? What would you say to them?
Let me think about it.
It's a tough one.
Thank you. Like, thank you for thinking that we are nuts, because we love life. We love ourselves. You know, we love this experience that we're in. We love that we're learning, evolving, and growing and seeing past the illusions that other people are still so fabricated from.
Yeah.
And just to open your heart and open your mind and expand your awareness.
You know, sorry, you go.
I was saying, believe in the unseen. Like, just believe in it all. Just take that leap of faith and just believe that anything is possible.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there that aren't, you know, they have no spiritual connection whatsoever. They don't have a religion or anything. So I guess, you know, a lot of what we're speaking about is just really going over the top of their head because they haven't connected back, have they?
But what we're doing now is dropping seeds, like without them even realizing it. They're listening to this. Their subconscious is listening to this. And it might connect some dots for them. And it might not happen today or tomorrow or in a week, but eventually with their evolution, it will come back and they'll go, shit, like that makes so much sense now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, like I even think back to when I was a kid, and I think someone told me about reincarnation when I was really young, and I thought it was, you know, I was like, what? That's the most stupidest theory I've ever heard. Mind you, I was probably only about 12 at the time. But I mean, you know, that, like you said, that was a seed that was dropped in. Didn't resonate with me at the time, but, you know, it certainly does now. And
yeah,
it's sorry, you go.
No, you go.
No, it's all good. I was actually, you know, I had nothing else to say, so you go.
I was going to say, everything is already planned when we come here.
Yeah.
In that way, if you believe that, like we've already planned out what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. So those events that happen, they're meant to happen. Yeah, they're your contract, and they're there to help spark that remembrance of who you are and why you're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wild journey, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And the thing is, like, you probably find this too. Like, when you get on this truth journey, this spiritual journey, it's you never stop learning. I feel like I'm just learning and learning every day. And I think one of the big problems within society is once people are, you know, finish their education system or whatever, they become very stagnant in their learning and evolving and stuff. They think they've reached an end to that sort of thing. They know everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I guess it all comes back to the programming, doesn't it? We're just so programmed, and we need to get out of these old habits, don't we?
And it's like we need to master them. We need to have that deep awareness to see that this is just a program, and you can master that program and evolve and ascend out of it.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so many people are happy with that, you know, go to school, get a job and just work, because that's what they believe we're meant to do here. And I honor them if that's what they choose to do. But, you know, like you wanted to know what life is and why we're here. You wanted to get those answers. You wanted to go on that spiritual journey. And there's so many of us like that want to know more and want to learn more. And it's fun and exciting, expanding your awareness and your consciousness.
Yeah. And look, a lot of people, you know, I've had in my, you know, close family or friends in the past, they mightn't agree with what I'm saying, but they don't like bash me down for it, so to speak, or anything like that. They accept my opinion. It's like, all right, well, he's got a different opinion, but that's okay. We live in a democracy. We're getting to that point though now, is if you don't have that opinion of the, you know, the narrative, the official narrative, you know, people don't want to know you, or, you know, you're being selfish, or, you know, you don't care about society because you don't wear a mask, or you don't follow the lockdown rules and all this, when in actual fact, we care more about society than most people, really. Like, if you look at it.
It's so twisted, isn't it? It's like, but we love you guys more. We're telling you the truth. Like, we're trying to share the truth.
Yeah.
And protect them.
Yeah, it's a twisted world.
It really is. It is, yeah. And it's all been planned to be twisted. You know, to have this pandemic to separate and divide people, because some of us don't believe in it, others do believe in it and believe that we're being selfish, not wearing a mask, not caring about others and their health. It's like, we care more, you know, but you need to do the right things for your health, like eating healthy, drinking pure water, and having a healthy mindset. That's something that I've been hearing lately. All you hear about on the news and on the radio and everything is just mental health. It's like they're trying to plant that seed that everyone is mentally ill right now. And that's what I'm picking up on, because like they don't need to be bringing it up that much, because once you start saying something too much, people do take it in and it will create sicknesses in them. Like without even being able to register it, it's already happening because you're hearing it everywhere. You're being programmed by it. And I feel like that's a massive plan. Like they just want you sick. They just want to create sickness. They want to keep you sick so that you can be under their control, like mind, body, soul, all of it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. That's why I literally have the radio turned down in the car and I never watch the news because I'm like, it's not feeding anything. It's feeding the fear and the dark programs.
That's it, yeah. I think I've gone 10 months now with no radio or news. And I never used to listen to it before, but, you know, it occasionally pop on or whatever and that. But now it's like literally poison to my ears. I can't hear it. You know, and these ads that come on the radio, and it's like, oh my God, like, how are you saying this? You know, and the way they bash down so-called conspiracy theorists at the moment, it's disgusting. And these are the same people that get on and whinge about mental health and that, you know, society needs all these revamps and all that because everyone's so bloody mentally ill and whatnot. But then they're the same people on there bashing down people for being a so-called conspiracy theorist. Like, can you not see the hypocrisy?
I can see it. You can see it. Like,
yeah.
I wish everyone could see it. And it's, you try and bring it up to people. You're like, did you see this? Can you connect these dots? And they're like completely over their head. They can't process it. It's like, I don't know. It weirds me out sometimes because I'm like, how am I seeing this and you're not seeing this?
You ever think that there could be, I don't know what.
Here we go.
I've got to use the words wisely here. Do you ever think there might be humans that are almost soulless? Or, you know, possessed by darker side? I know that's happening, obviously. But, like, do you ever have that thought to think that person just is soulless? They don't even have a soul. There's no compassion. There's no empathy. There's no critical thinking. I don't know. Have you ever had that thought?
I have had that thought. I have looked it up too. I've done a little bit of research. Apparently there are. And I don't know how it works. I didn't look into it that deeply, but you look into their eyes and you don't see anything behind the eyes. Yeah.
I don't know. There's some people I've spoken to before, and it's nothing I'm speaking about is resonating with them whatsoever. They don't. It's like another language almost. It's not even going in though. It's just blank. It's almost like you're speaking to a brick wall. Scary.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
It is. Now, was there anything you wanted to speak about, or?
Oh, I feel like we've spoken about so much.
Yeah. No, it's been good. It's been really good.
Yeah. It's been such a good flow. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed this. Thank you for letting me come on and speak.
Oh, my pleasure. I knew it'd be good when, you know, I heard your little videos. I'm like, no, definitely got to get Sarah on. I think it'll be a good little chat.
Yeah. Well, this is my first time ever doing something like this, so I'm like a little bit nervous, but I'm really excited at the same time. So.
Yeah, exactly how I was when I first started. But no, you've done really well. Now, where can people find you to and look up all your content? I know you're on Instagram, obviously.
Yeah,
Do you have any other platforms you're on?
only on Facebook, but I'm rarely on Facebook at the moment.
Yeah, I've sort of stopped Facebook altogether. I was about to I got a band, and then I was like, no, that's it. I'm not even going to bother anymore.
Yeah, it's the stuff that you see on Facebook is just like, wow, like no wonder we're all asleep. Like the things we're posting and being programmed by, I was like, I'm not a part of that. And I really want to deactivate my Instagram, to be honest. Like I just feel like I don't need it, but I really want that connection with like all my high frequency friends and my soul family, because when you haven't got other people around you that are like this, it's so good to be able to connect with you guys and my high frequency family and everything.
No, 100%.
So yeah, I'm just on Instagram.
Sweet. Yeah, look, I feel the same. Hey, there's days I want to take Max Egan's advice and just go and destroy my smartphone.
Yeah.
But you know,
especially
yeah.
with 5G and everything now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the connections and you know, the content I'm getting out and the people I'm connecting with, and it's needed at this point in time, I feel.
It is needed. Like when I have my little breaks, I'm always guided to send a message or like make a video, and then I've got to post it. And I know that I have to do that. And I know that what I'm sharing is love. Like I'm just spreading that love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's it. Yeah. I did have something else I was going to say, but it's just slipped my memory.
That's okay.
But yeah, look, there's so many things we could talk about, isn't there? Just the rabbit hole's so deep, and
it's never ending.
Yeah, that's it, 100%. But what would your advice be for someone who's just starting to wake up, who's just switching on to all this, and you know, what would your advice be for them?
Okay, my phone's on 4%, so I'll get out as much as I can.
No worries.
The advice I would give is to don't go in too deep. Don't dive so deeply, and especially if you haven't got anyone to talk to about it, because it can get a little bit intense. You know, you can start to feel unhinged, ungrounded, uncertain. You've got a lot of your beliefs and your identities, your ego, your personalities shattering around you. So just take it really easy and build that trust up.
Yeah.
Building that trust up is so important, and surrendering to the moment, to the here and now. No matter what you're feeling or experiencing, it's all for the greatest good. And there is a purpose behind it. And to just quieten down the ego, because it can get quite loud when you're starting to awaken.
Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah.
Now, I'll link your Instagram in the description, so if anyone wants to check Sarah out, make sure you do. Just go down below in the description, I'll have her Instagram. And yeah, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Just send you guys an abundance of love, and you're all infinite, amazing beings, and you deserve the best in this life, and you deserve to be happy and living your life to your fullest expression.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. And to start seeing the truth.
Yeah.
Everyone watching this already is seeing the truth, but anyone new, just like be open to seeing beyond your programming and your conditioning, or just becoming aware that you are programmed and conditioned, and to take yourself gently and compassionately through it.
It's okay, guys. Like we were all, everyone was programmed once upon a time. Like we were all asleep. We had to all awaken. Like it's okay. It's like people. Yeah.
And like we all still fall back into the programs, but now we have that expanded deep awareness. It's like, okay, you know, we're in that pattern again, and now we can see it and close it and continue on. You know, you're not getting stuck anywhere.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Sarah. I really appreciate it. We'll definitely have to do it again. But,
thank you so much, brother.
My pleasure. All right, guys. We'll see you again soon. I've got another podcast coming up with Pete Lovett. Probably be out a week after this one, so keep an eye out for that. But
I will. Thank you.
I hope everyone's doing well and enjoys the rest of their week. We'll speak soon.
Take care. Thank you so much.
All right. See you, Sarah. See you guys.
See ya. Bye.